Here we have some 8mm material. It looks metric. It's actually 7.7mm. You see that from the cut that we have quite a bit of dross. It's a laser cut. It's not a nitrogen cut. It's an oxygen cut. Some of the high power laser where people want to go really quick have that type of dross, which is really molten on, and you need to grind it off. Here we have our combination machine with a first head where we have an 80 grit on it, and then we have the cross belts behind it for edge mounting so that you have nice soft edges for painting and for safety. Yeah, and we set the machine already with the right pressures and things like that. We're not going to go super fast on the conveyor belt. We're going to give it some time. We're going to go fairly quickly on the pipe belt and the cross belt. Set it to the correct system, and here we go. So this is the first piece out of the console that we have gotten, and then we can try different pressures and we can try different speeds. So here in the background, how it is grinding, and we have a super sound with that, and then make the transition on the next one. Here at the end, we have a static strip that comes to the part as it comes out, so that you don't have any static on the part, you don't have static on the temperature, nice and warm, not hot. And you see that we have, it's a brand new belt on the machine, an 80 grit. We have fairly soft edges, especially on the outside. And we have all the drosses removed. On this side where we don't have a dross, we could run the cross belt only. Yeah. Running in the cross belt, no pressure. And then, like I say, what we can do, or let's try something else. We're going to go a little bit quicker on the next part. Sorry for the chaos here. You see that we're running here diagonally right now. We're running about 8-9 feet a minute. So it's going to run quicker, and we're going to have less time to the cross belt. But I did adjust the cross belt about another 40,000 pounds. And the best piece part is going to come out quicker. And here now you see the edges are still pretty good, but as you can see here, we would need more pressure on the grinding belt to remove on the smaller inside contour all the dross that we have on these small contours. So, and this is a pretty good demo why, even with the grinding belt, sometimes we should be going a little bit slower in order to give it time to remove that dross. So, now, it should be working for right now. We're just going to turn the white belt off. You give it a minute, and we're going to actually, in the beginning, we're going to speed this up and turn the cross belt on. But we are only going to speed this up as we go through the grinding belt, and then we're going to slow this down. Just because it makes a smaller sample. Of course, in the end, when you run production, you can fill the table, and you probably, in the cross belt only at this speed, you would run approximately 700-800 parts an hour still, because it's not a very big part, right? So now we just have the cross belt going here, and you can see how it's nicely round the edge. just don't have the grain from the grinding wheel on it at this point, right? So this was the burr side, where we have this, and where we still have a little bit of burr here. This is the non-burr side. You see the white line, that's your radius basically for your painting, right? Both inside and outside contrast, everything is very smooth and very nice edge. Now what we did is, you see the grinding impression that we made here. We put a different sheet, we put a 60 grit on, because then we probably can go a little bit faster and still remove all of it. So we'll try that next. Just for the record, so that you can see that. So these parts we marked P80, which refers to the white belt, 80 grit, 5 feet per minute, cross belt -4 millimeter. Here we ran 80, that's the one where you still see some remainders, not so good. P80, 10 feet per minute, cross belt pressure -5 millimeter. We're turning it off. But it'll actually grind cooler because the moisture abrasive removes more heat from the material than a fine abrasive. So here we have this now. We still have a little bit here. So ultimately, the better idea is to go slower. Just go slower. This surface, of course, makes very good paint grip because we have a cross line. At about 10 almost right. And the cross belt was -5, which is fairly high pressure. Let's hope to not push that. Load the table, these parts, you will get about 700-800 parts per hour. And going slower, a better edge job. You can see how much radius you have here on the outside of those parts. And now it becomes pretty clean, other than somehow we don't seem to have enough pressure around these holes, these smaller holes. This is a very difficult composition. For that, we would have to give it more grinding pressure. Grinding pressure. Gets adjusted right here. We need to come down a little bit further. And just give it more pressure. Okay, just like this should be enough. And off we go to the last part and see what we can do with this. So this is a before, and these are our trouble areas, right? so coarse, you could go down to a 24 grit on this. It's not what I recommend because the surface is very, very rough. Yeah. So maybe not good. But you could comfortably do a 50 grit or even a 40. That now looks again, that looks clean. So we were just lacking a little bit of pressure. So that's a single pass, 60 grit, about 5 feet per minute. That would be how you would want to run it. That's nice. Yeah. And this is basically all of it for the demo with time to know what you need to do. We're going to use a marker and write on there. We're going to run out the other parts and send those back to you. Thanks.